Words are a pretext. It is the inner bond that draws one person to another, not words. Rumi.
Come on, Nezuko! I've got you! Don't die on me! No matter what it takes, I'll save you! I won't let you die.
Passion, sacrifice, and commitment. These are just some of the overarching themes that Demon Slayer tackles, but they're also themes that perfectly define what a fervently loving bond is all about. A bond between two people is something unlike anything else because it can't be replicated or forged. It's a connection that only those two share. Something special, something unique. However, that being said, many, if not even most of us, go through life neglecting all of the bonds around us. Fervently fixated on our work and study, we start obsessing about the little things and then inevitably miss all the important people that surround us, telling us how important our mundane everyday activity is and that in its name it's okay to stress ourselves out and then to ignore the ones we love, to only visit them once or twice a year, to ignore the bonds that make up life itself. And sadly enough, many of us only get to realize that fact after it's too late. Once that one person that made that relationship so special is gone. And now, we're left in a position where there is no way to bring them back. No new memories to be made. Regardless of who it is, a mother, father, sister, or even just a friend, the bonds that we build with the ones we love are some things that we need to cherish because a life without them would be utterly unbearable. A truth that Demon Slayer deals with beautifully well. An anime that can teach you how to care for others, and also an anime that values personal bonds unlike any other.
Mother, Hanako, Takeo, Shigeru, Rokta. I will turn Nezuko back into a human!
Taking place during Japan's Taisho era, Demon Slayer tells a story of a young boy named Tanjiro and his younger sister Nezuko. They live a difficult life, but nonetheless, it's a life that they both cherish. Together with their 4 siblings and their mother, they reside within the mountains and have to carry out hard work to keep themselves afloat. And then, during one of many work trips down to the nearest village, Tanjiro is offered to stay at one of the villagers' home overnight so that he doesn't need to walk up the mountains in the dark. He accepts the offer and then goes to sleep. But then, the next day, when he arrives home, he is crushed when he encounters the slaughter of his entire family. All of them have been brutally murdered and left there to rot. In that one instance, his entire world shatters. Everyone he ever cherished is now gone. Every bond of love that he carried has been taken from him in one single moment. But then, he realizes that Nezuko is still alive, even if just barely. He gets her up and then starts carrying her down the mountains. Maybe, just maybe, if he brings her to a doctor, she'll live. But then on their way down, she suddenly tries to attack Tanjiro and they both then fall down a hill. Once he gets his senses back, he is then attacked by Nezuko. He is being attacked by his own sister. You see, whatever happened back there turned Nezuko into a demon. A being that requires human flesh to survive and gains demonic strength and abilities from it. A being that is bound by its desire and lust for human flesh. But Nezuko is different from other demons. She finds herself in emotional pain while attacking her brother, because the bond she had with him is stronger than even death itself. Even now, as a demon, she can still feel the love she has for Tanjiro and how that bond is fighting against her demonic urges to devour him. They both are then taken by surprise when a demon slayer named Gyu Tomioka appears. His duty as a demon slayer is to protect humanity from demons and to kill any demonic creature that he encounters. And so, his duty is also to kill Nezuko. But Tanjiro won't allow that. He knows that his little sister is still in there somewhere. Therefore, he vows to protect her no matter the cost. Gyu feels for his pain, but he also knows the tragic truth behind what atrocities demons are capable of. And so, he knocks Tanjiro unconscious to take care of Nezuko while he's asleep. But then, once Nezuko sees her brother getting hurt, she escapes Gyu's grasp and then proceeds to protect her brother. Completely ignoring her demonic urges, she focuses on the bond that she shares with Tanjiro. And then Gyo suddenly realizes that he may have been wrong. He can clearly tell that the bond between those two is a special one. Therefore, he decides to let him go and sends him off to his former master, to have Tanjiro become a demon slayer himself. Because if he truly wants to find a cure for his sister, the only way to do that is by becoming a demon slayer. By sacrificing his time, body and mind to the cause. By giving everything he has and putting it into saving his sister. By cherishing the one loving bond that he has left. And so, they both set off on a long and strenuous journey. A journey filled with sacrifice, but also a journey that is fueled by the bond that they share together. A bond of true love.
If I hadn't gotten here when I did, she would have devoured you. She wouldn't hurt me. She knows I'm her big brother. And I won't let her hurt anyone. I'll turn her back into a human. I will heal her.
What exactly even is a bond? Is it simply a connection that you have with a family member? I wouldn't say so, no. A bond is more like an unofficial pledge that two people abide by, and not because they signed a contract or anything like it, but rather because the love that they feel for one another won't allow them to do otherwise. People who share a strong, loving bond with each other sacrifice themselves for the other person because within their hearts there isn't even another option but to sacrifice. A bond between two people truly is something unique, but that being true, it's not necessarily rare, which is something Demon Slayer also portrays incredibly well. Even though Demon Slayer puts a lot of emphasis on Tanjiro's and Nezuko's bond, the anime also makes it incredibly clear that a bond like this can be developed with any person as long as it's mutual. One can clearly tell that Tanjiro's bond with Zenitsu, Inosuke and Urokodaki are all different from one another, but all equally as important to him. And that is what a bond is all about. A mutually binding commitment that benefits anyone involved, regardless of blood relation, because a loving bond can be found within anyone, even within a demon. But a true bond can never be faked or forged, a fact that is beautifully presented later on in the series through the demon Rui. A demon that doesn't remember his family from when he was a human, and so, to fill the void within, he convinces other demons to join him, and then to drink his blood to truly become part of the family. And also, just to make sure that they stay loyal to him, Rui tyrannizes them and keeps them at bay through terror and fear. But upon encountering and fighting Tanjiro and Nezuko, he realizes that what he had was not a real family. That it doesn't matter whether or not you share a blood lineage and whether or not you're obedient. A real family is simply made up of people who unconditionally love one another. People who will do anything whatsoever for the ones they love. People like Tanjiro and Nezuko who are both constantly sacrificing themselves for the other. Tanjiro sacrificing his body and mind to be able to protect the ones he cares for. And Nezuko sacrificing her demonic self to not hurt the one she loves. A true bond. One of mutually loving sacrifice.
The bond between Nezuko and I cannot be severed! Not by anyone!
Bonds are such an important part of one's life. They can truly change how you perceive not only the people around you, but life itself in its entirety. Which is why we should always make an effort to cherish the bonds we have and proactively seek to create new ones. Because that's exactly how Tanjiro and Nezuko are able to get as far as they do in life. They know that they can't achieve everything on their own, and so they're always open to be kind to others because they never know who could potentially become another person they might learn to love. Another person who'll become part of their broken family. And it's this philosophy that pushes Tanjiro and Nezuko forward. It's this unconditional love that gives them the drive to never give up. But this philosophy that they share is also what explains the empathy and compassion that they feel for others, even when it's a demon. Because in a spiritual sense, we are all bound together. And so, even when facing a dying demon, you have to be ready to show compassion for them. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's a philosophy that will at least allow you to be at peace with yourself. But before we're ready to do that, we first have to relearn how to cherish the ones we already love. In this busy environment we live in right now, we often forget to visit our family members and our friends who we care for. We've distanced ourselves from the ones we love, and so we've distanced ourselves from love itself. We've gotten further and further away from our humanity because of it, isolating us to a point of complete desperation. And the only way out of that is quite simple, but many of us still don't do it. And that is to simply cherish the people we love and in turn strengthen the bonds we share with them. Because no matter how strong you think you are, you can't go through life on your own and you will never achieve anything of true value on your own. Since, to be honest, you won't even want to achieve any of it. We humans, we are driven by many factors, but one of the most influential ones is the love that we have for others. And so, if we neglect our emotional bonds for too long, there will be nothing left for us to fight for, because there will be no one left for us to live for. To that end, let yourself be inspired by Tanjiro and Nezuko, siblings who have lost many important people in their lives and siblings who have had many loving bonds taken away from them. But they never let that beat them down because they know that as long as they have at least one person to care for, life will always be worth living. And so, they cherish the bond they have together and go on a journey to expand upon it. A journey filled with many new loving faces and also a journey that is driven by the bond of love. Go meet the people you love, cherish them to high heavens, and then even higher above. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and check out one of my previous videos right here. This channel is all about looking at video games and pop culture from a different perspective, about digging deeper into the meaning of life and how we can get there with video games, movies, and TV shows. So if that interests you, maybe subscribe, maybe hit the bell to be notified. What about that, huh? Yeah? Okay, good. See ya!
それは初め9だった。